Okay, so today we worked on, first we worked on long division. So with long division, we came up with an acronym, right? So DMSB, right? So divide, so DMSB, right? So that's divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down, right? So if we have a number like 144, and we're dividing by 8. So we can divide, right? So 1 divided by 8, can't do it, right? So that's a 0. And then we multiply that 0 times 8, and we get 0. Then we subtract 1 minus 0 is 0. And then we bring down the next number. We bring down a 4. Okay, and then, or excuse me, that's 1, sorry, that's a 14 now. So then now we do this process over again. Each time we move over a place value, we can do the step it over and over again. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. So now we have 14. So now 14 divided by 8, we can do that one time. And then 1 times 8 is going to be 8. Subtract it, 6, and then bring down the next value. Now we have 64. Then 64 divided by 8 is 8. Right, and then that's our number. Now we have 18, so then 8 times 8 is 64, and that's, subtract it, 0. Now there's no more numbers to bring down, so now that is our, if we had a remainder, that would be our remainder, but because it's 0, we know that 8 times 18 is going to be 144. And then we also went over that every time we do long division, we should always check our answer by multiplying afterwards. So we can multiply our answer by this right here. So now we have 18 times 8. And then if we get it and it equals 144, that means our answer is correct. So if we have 8 times 8 is 4, 6, so then 64, 6, 8 times 1 is 8, plus 4, or plus 6 is 14. So 144, so that means our answer was correct. And now let's say that, so we know that answer is correct. So now let's say that we had a 5 here instead of a 4. Right, so if we had, or let's say we had a 6. So now instead of, so now we had 14 minus 8 is 6, and before we brought down the 4, but now we bring down a 6. So this is a whole new problem, right? So now we can do the same steps, divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. So we just brought down the 6. So now we do 66 minus 8, or divided by 8, excuse me. So that's going to be 8 still. However, when we multiply 8 by 8 and get 64, now when we subtract, we're left with 2. But now our remainder is 2. Right? We can't, before when it was 0, we didn't have to do that, but now we have remainder 2. So now when we check our answer, we can do the same thing we did last time. 18 times 8. 18 times, or excuse, sorry, 18 times 8. Multiply, then we get 144, right? But this time we add our remainder after we're done with the problem. So now we add 2 to get 146. So then that's how we know we can check our answer when there's a remainder. We just add it after we multiply our answer. So that is our long division. And we also went over greatest common factors and least common multiples. So greatest common factor is, so we know how to find the factors, so or common factors, right? We list out the factors. So for example, if we have 6 and 8, we can list out the factors of 6. right? So we can do, so if we're listing out the factors of 6, 1, 2, 3, and 6, until we get to that number. So then 8, 1, 2, 4, and 8. So here, there's only 2 common factors, right? 1 and 2, and then our greatest one is 2. So then our greatest common factor would be 2 in this case. Now, if we use these same numbers for, so this is GCF, greatest common factor, if we're going to find the least common multiple. So least common multiple, now we're listing out the multiples. So 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 30, 36. So that's 6 times 6. And then we list out the multiples of 8, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. So now there is, well, I guess in this case, there's only one multiple that's the same. But if we went further on, we'd get to 48 and 48. So now we have 2 common multiples between these 2 numbers, 48 and 48, and 24 and 24. And then least common multiple is just what it says. We're finding the least common multiple. So we have 2 common multiples, and we're finding whichever one is smaller. So in this case, 24 is smaller. Therefore, 24 is the least common multiple of 6 and 8. Okay, that's all.